Howdy there, folks. I'm Gene the Pink Panther, and welcome to Sonic the Hedgehog 1 for the Sega Genesis. This is a fantastic game that started such a massive series of games that are still going on today. So, I figured I'd go ahead and play this before I jump back into Chrono Trigger because, well, I love this game. I've been wanting to do it for a short while now, about halfway through the Pokemon Red LP. Anyway, though, this is Sonic the Hedgehog, a blue anthropomorphic animal. He's super fucking fast. He's as cool as the earth is blue. He's fantastic, and his gameplay is fantastic. It's a platformer, as you're obviously being able to tell. Well, hopefully. Hopefully it's not going too fast for you. I'm kidding. Anyway, though, it's much like Super Mario Brothers, or... let's see, what other platformers are there? DuckTales, Mega Man. Only it's easier than Mega Man. But, yeah, games like that. They're fantastic. I love platformers. I don't play them as much as I do, say, RPGs, but platformers are awesome. And I have to say, the Sonic the Hedgehog ones are especially awesome. There's just something about them that just really calls to you when you play them. Anywho, though, we're in a special stage that has fish changing into birds in the background, and it's constantly spinning, and there's color everywhere, and I really hate it. I hate the special stage in this game. But anywho, we got our first Chaos Emerald. Huzzah! And it's blue. Yeah, emeralds are supposed to be green, not blue. But anywho, we're now in Act 2 of Green Hill Zone. Green Hill Zone is... I don't actually think it's the most iconic Sonic level ever, but it is probably the most iconic of the classic Sonic series. Anywho, though, back to Sonic the Hedgehog's gameplay. When you roll and you're in a loop-de-loop, as you're going downhill, if you push the down button, you'll curl into a ball. When you curl into a ball, you get a big boost to speed, and you can just plow through enemies and roll right through them. It's fantastical. When you jump, you also curl into a ball, and you can jump into most enemies and kill them that way. This kind of makes it a little bit easier than most platformers. Kind of. There are enemies where you can't do this to, and you will get hurt if you do that. Another thing that makes these games somewhat easier, in theory at least, is the fact that as long as you have a ring, like, I don't know, say you pick up 5 rings, and you have those 5, you're running along, you get hit, the rings fly everywhere, and you grab another ring that's flying all around, because you can just pick the rings back up in most games. And you can just take another hit then. Because of this, in theory, makes the games, not as hard, rather hard to die. But at the same time, you gotta remember, you're moving super fast in these, at least ideally. You can go slow through the levels. But you're going relatively fast through the levels, and you're gonna get hit every now and then by a surprise enemy. At least most casual gamers are. So, I think it's good design. But anywho, we finished our second special stage and got 2 of the 6 Chaos Emeralds. Huzzah! And Green Hill Zone Act 3. So, what makes Sonic the Hedgehog unique? Well, in addition to everything else about this game. As you can tell, we're fighting robotic enemies. These enemies are called Badniks. And the thing is that they're made by the greatest villain of any game ever. Dr. Frickin' Eggman. Now granted, in the US, when I was a kid, and when most of the people who played these games were kids, he wasn't actually called Dr. Eggman. In the US and most of North America, from what I understand, maybe some other parts too, other regions, he was known as Dr. Robotnik. Since Sonic Adventure onwards, a game we'll be playing much later, Dr. Eggman they kind of move away from the Robotnik name and switch it, just push him onto the path of just Eggman. He still has the name, but the reason they do this is because in Japan, he's always been Eggman. He wasn't Robotnik in Japan, at least I don't think he was, at first. Only in the US and other parts of North America, and maybe some other regions that I'm unaware of. He was Robotnik. Cartoons, Robotnik. Games, Robotnik. I think even comic books, he was Robotnik. And he's fucking kick-ass. But anywho, after having beaten Dr. Eggman in Green Hill Zone Act 3, we move on to Marble Zone. Marble Zone's actually a pretty big step up in difficulty from Green Hill Zone, and I imagine this turned quite a few people away. Speaking for myself as a kid, I hated Marble Zone. However, though, as I'm older, I don't mind it. I like it. I think it's fantastic. I love the song, and it's super fucking catchy. This item right here is a blue shield. I don't know if you can see it on me or not because of the flickering, but the blue shield lets me take a hit and not lose rings. It's very good if you're going for the Chaos Emeralds, and yeah, it's fantastic. Like, if those bat enemies, whatever their names might be, I don't know very many of the badniks' names, I know a few. But anyway, if they were to hit me, I wouldn't lose all my rings, all 55 of my rings. Instead, the shield would just go away. Marble Zone has an awful lot of blue shields lying around, and that's fantastic. What is not fantastic about Marble Zone is that it is filled with lava and spikes and crushing devices. So, something you gotta learn right off. Crushing devices, if you get crushed, at all, it doesn't matter what it is, you will die. You will die instantly. It doesn't matter how many rings you have, anything, you will die. You can be invincible, if you get crushed, you're still gonna die. And spikes, spikes don't actually kill you in one hit, but this game's a little bit screwy in that if you land on spikes, and then say because when you get hit, Sonic kind of flies backwards a little bit and is technically invulnerable for a bit. If you get hit and then fly back onto spikes, though, you'll die instantly. I don't know why, but the invulnerability period doesn't affect Sonic when he lands on spikes. Anyway, we're now going after our third Chaos Emerald, our third of 6. And actually, Special Stage 3, this one is the second hardest Chaos Emerald to get in this game, in my honest opinion. See, you can technically contribute the special stage into 2 different layouts, and that's one of them, and the one that 4 of the emeralds are, is more of a maze-ish type one, where there are usually multiple pathways, and one leads you to the goal blinking edge thingy-mabobbers that are bad. You don't ever want to land in those unless you just want to get the fuck out of there because you're going to throw up. Your goal is to get the Chaos Emeralds, not exit. And then there are the other ones like we just saw with Special Stage 3. And that is the one that is just one big open room rotating with the Chaos Emerald in the center of it. Those ones are harder because I find that you can just fall randomly without meaning to right into a goal pit, and then you lose the special stage. You gotta try again. But this is Act 2 of Marble Zone, considerably longer than the first act, I believe. But blue shields are fantastic. So, a lot of people like to believe that Sonic the Hedgehog games are about going as absolutely fast as you possibly can, and this is sort of true. The thing is that with Marble Zone, you do have to slow down from time to time and occasionally stop to wait for things. You see, a good way to look at it is, I don't know how many of the people watching this have actually been able to drive yet or not, but when you're driving super fast, you occasionally have to slow down to take sharp turns in order to keep going a decent speed and not get into an accident. I like to think of it like that, at least Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Later Sonic games, you can really get going through really fucking quick. But yeah, Marble Zone probably turned a lot of people away from Sonic the Hedgehog 1, because it's so vastly different from Green Hill Zone, and it's a lot tougher. It's a lot tougher. Lots of waiting, and that's... I don't mind it so much, as I said now, because I'm older, I'm used to it in platformers, but it really is kind of annoying as a kid. Anywho, oh, those enemies, those are caterkillers. Yes, caterkillers. The caterpillars are called caterkillers. Actually love them. They're so much fun if you can time it right and jump onto their head. Because the thing is, if you land on them anywhere other than their head, then you're gonna get hurt instead of, kill them without getting hit. So it's usually better to roll into them. However, though, it is so much fun to jump on their heads like that. That is so fucking satisfying for some reason. I don't know why. I just love doing that. Huh. Anywho, you may have been noticing that I've been gathering at least 50 rings before the end of each stage. And the reason for this is because that's how you get the big ring that takes you to the special stage to appear. When you get to the little spinny signpost thingamabobber, if you do not have at least 50 rings, then the big ring does not appear and you can't go to the special stage. This means that you can't really get hit very much, especially not towards the end of the level. At the start of Act 2 of Marble Zone here, I did actually get hit, and I lost, I think, like 3 rings or something like that. And, you know, that's not really going to affect me too bad, because I have 90 now. But, yeah, just... you want to avoid getting hit, and you want to get at least 50 rings before you get to a signpost. But anywho, let's go ahead and tackle our 4th special stage. So this is one of the, kind of maze-ish, well, not really maze-ish, but branching pathway special stage layouts. And honestly, they're much easier than the frickin' open room one. Excuse me. The reason why is because you generally want to follow the rings. The rings pretty much always lead you to the right place, except for one special stage, and it's really a dick move that, as a kid, it always pissed me off to no end. But we'll get to that when we get to it. When you collect 50 rings, that little jingle you just heard a little bit ago will play, and that means you gotta continue. So if you lose all your lives, you can activate your continue and press on in the game. It's fantastic, and it might be useful, because this game's pretty tough towards the end. Well, kind of. Anyway, though, you may be noticing there are up and down buttons, and then those weird buttons with an R, and then those things with the star in the middle. The things with the star in the middle are bumpers. When you touch them, Sonic will go flying off of them and just bounce away. And yeah, it's rather annoying. The up buttons, like, they kind of look like candy canes or barber shop pole thingies. When you touch the up buttons, the stage kind of rotates a little bit faster, and if you keep touching them, you can get to go pretty fast, and it gets pretty sickening. The down ones make it rotate slower, and those ones honestly are the ones that you're going to want to aim for. The R buttons in the special stage, they make it spin the other direction. The other direction, so say it's going clockwise, you touch an R button, it'll go counterclockwise. You know, easy enough to remember. But anywho, enough about that. We're in Marble Zone Act 3. So something fucking kick-ass about Dr. Eggman is he is the boss in every Act 3 of each zone. However, though, when you're in Act 3, you cannot get a special stage ring to appear. You can't get a special stage ring to appear at all. So, honestly, I start getting a lot more reckless, as you've already seen. I mean, I love at the beginning of this level when I just honestly jumped and landed on the caterpillar and just started moving again. It was fantastic. I always loved that. Anywho, though, you want to come over here through the invisible wall, and we get a free man. I fucking love that. That jingle is always going to be the most iconic free man jingle ever. But yeah, it's Marble Zone. Act 3 is pretty much the same thing we've been dealing with. Marble Zone is pretty long, though. Like I said, I'm surprised this is the second zone in the game. I have no doubt it turned people away from Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Once again, those pillars right there will crush you if you stay under them. So you do not want to stay under them or on top of this one, because they will crush you and kill you. Lava, lava's kind of like spikes. It's not... The thing I mentioned earlier about spikes and the invulnerability period, it doesn't work with lava. Like, if you get hit by lava, you can still run through it as you're invulnerable until you become invulnerable. I don't know. Anyway, it won't kill you immediately after you get hit and fall into it. But it will damage you. And I have no fucking clue how the hell that seal was going through the lava right there. Did everyone else see that? That's just freaking crazy. I love stuff like that in these games. And Marvel Zone's music is so fucking catchy. The music in almost every single Sonic the Hedgehog game is epic. Epically awesome. Anyway, when you're up here, you want to be careful because... Oh, fuck. You want to watch your jumping because, yeah, if you're not, you're going to fall down and have to climb back up. I got over-eager and I was like, fuck it, I'll make it. No, fuck you. But if you get into a nice rhythm like this, then, yeah, you're not going to get hit. You'll be able to get through it, no problem. Those fireballs are rather dickish, too, because if you jump into them, there go your rings. Anywho, though, let's go ahead and meet up with Dr. Eggman. And this is probably the easiest Eggmobile he has in this game. So here's the deal. He drops a fireball on the platform you're standing on, flies over to the other one, drops another fireball. Really slow. Yeah, pretty easy. Anywho, folks, I'm Gene the Pink Panther. I love this game. We're going to be going to my favorite zone in the whole game in part number 2. Stay tuned.